Today, I'm going to be telling you exactly how to ship live birds in the mail through the USPS, more specifically chickens. A lot of videos on this topic are pretty old, so I thought I'd make an updated video that has everything all together, something that I wish was around when I started shipping live birds. So make sure you watch until the end, and if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments down below. Believe it or not, but step one here is checking the weather. The very first thing you want to do before anything else is check the weather in both your location and the person you're shipping to. You want the temperatures to be pretty mild, so not too hot, not too freezing, typically anywhere from 40 degrees to maybe up to 80. Of course, you want to avoid like heat waves or freezing temperatures. You also want to avoid holidays. If you're unsure about the weather or you think it's still a little too hot or cold, I would say just wait a few days, wait a week even. A short delay is much better than losing a bird. So that's something really important to keep in mind. And with that, we'll move on to step number 2. Step number 2 is communicating with your local post office. You want to call your local post office, tell them you're shipping live birds, and ask them what time their live animal pickups happen that day. The last thing you'd want to happen is dropping off a bird at 9 a.m. and they don't get picked up until 4 p.m. That's just not necessary at all for them to be waiting around. So you want to plan your drop-off as close as the pickup time as possible. And you can do this by just calling them ahead. Part of working with the USPS, you want to get these Priority Mail Express labels. So these labels don't cost anything until you have to pay for shipping. You can get them ahead of time. First, you fill out your information with your phone number, and then the person you're shipping to, their information and their phone number. I'll tell you in a bit, you also want to write down their phone number on the box in a different colored pen with something that says, "Call Desiree," with their number. So very important to work with the USPS ahead of time here. Step number 3. Step number 3 is building the approved box. I wish I could show you how to build a box that you didn't have to purchase, but I don't even know how. So I'm going to show you how to build one of these pre-approved boxes that are perfect for shipping live birds. And when you buy in bulk, you can get them as low as $10 or less per box. So it's really cost effective. Now, first thing, you don't need scissors. I only use scissors to cut the tape. So you don't need scissors at all to build the box. Everything else is just push through or tear apart. Now, you do need tape. I recommend a clear packaging tape. This is duct tape, clear packaging, high performance tape. So it's perfect for this job. In case you're wondering, you can get these boxes just about anywhere online. This specific box is 20 inches long by 8 inches wide and 16 inches tall. It's actually great for, sometimes people put 2 chickens. Personally, we still like to put just 1, but it's great for stags even, let's say up to 6 or 7 months old. So you can definitely fit larger birds in here than you would think. The box is good for up to 10 pounds. It's really easy to build the box. You just want to read the actual instructions on the bottom of it. It'll have something labeled A, B, C and tell you what to do. So read those instructions. Basically what you do is fold A down so the bird would sit on it, and then you fold C down on top of A, and then the B's go on top of the other holes. I know it's a lot and it's a little hard to explain, which is why there's a long video. And it's really easy to do. When I time myself and I have to, do like 10 boxes in a night, it usually takes me about 6 minutes per box. And that's with watching YouTube in the background. So it doesn't take long at all. These boxes are really nice and easy to build. Step 4 is more of just a reminder to label the box clearly and correctly. So what you want to do here is make sure you put that label where it belongs. And then, like I mentioned before, you want to take a different colored marker, let's say blue, green, pink maybe, and write somewhere on a white part of the box, call the person's name and their phone number. The post office is supposed to call the person right when the bird arrives, but they don't always, and that's something we'll talk about later on. So again, make sure you put the label in the right spot and you write on the box in handwriting, call, and then their name. Moving on to step number 5, prepare your bird for shipping. Before you actually put your bird in the box, take a good look at them and make sure they look good and that, of course, they've eaten recently and they've had water the past few hours. And then before you put them in the box, put some nice shavings or hay, something of that material on the bottom, and then a good quality feed, maybe about a handful. Nothing, dusty, moldy, or old. You want something really fresh. And then half of a tomato, you can cut it in quarters, or even, let's say, I don't like oranges too much because the peels can sometimes get stuck. I've seen a chicken choke on an orange peel. So you want something that they're not going to choke on. Apples are also good. I've seen a lot of people do apples. You basically want to put some fresh fruit and again that handful of quality feed. And then just like that, you want to put your bird in the box. Then the final steps here would be securing the box with the bird in it. This includes 2 zip ties up top, along with putting the handle in for the carrier. And just like that, you're ready to head over to the post office. Step 6 is super important. You need to set expectations with the person receiving the bird and make sure you're on the same page. Sometimes people expect a bird to come right to their door, and that's just not the case. What happens when you ship a bird is they get delivered to the local post office to that person, and then that post office is supposed to call the person and say, hey, your bird is here, come pick them up. So it's really important to not only give the individual the tracking number of the bird, but tell them this bird could arrive as early as tomorrow morning or possibly the next day. When you wake up or early tomorrow morning, check the tracking and see if your bird has arrived. I recommend checking every hour to see if the bird has arrived, because again, sometimes post offices don't call you like they're supposed to, or maybe they did call you but it went to voicemail or something happened, and you just don't want your bird in that situation. Vice versa, you don't want to tell someone that a bird's going to be there in 2 days and then it gets there the next day and they're at work or something and can't pick the bird up. So these are just really important things that you have to keep in mind, is coordinating and explaining, setting expectations with the person receiving the bird. And then, of course, that person has to know to bring the bird to a stress-free location as soon as possible and give them water. Alright, I know this video is getting a little long and I've just been yapping away the whole time. We're almost done, I promise. This last step is really just a few reminders and things that you want to do. Well, actually, no. Okay, step 8, you want to check the tracking. So check the tracking number for the bird. You just want to make sure it's moving. I've never seen it not move, but it's important to make sure that it is. And then here's the last step. So this is just extra tips, maybe common mistakes, things you want to do. The obvious, don't tape over any air vents. Make sure that they're all open. You got all those little cardboard cutouts out. And then you can use boxes that aren't approved, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's just too much of a hassle unless you know what you're doing, which, do it then. And then you always want to double check both addresses and phone numbers before sealing the box. Tell the person, hey, this is your address and this is your phone number, right? They could be like, oh no, that's not my phone number, that's my work number, or something like that. And then another thing, again, just make sure you check the weather, step number 1. Make sure there's no major holidays coming up. Always ship early in the week. And yeah, that's basically everything. It's really simple shipping live birds. That's exactly how my boyfriend and I have been doing it for a really long time now. He's actually the one that taught me. So if you need help or have questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments down below. I'll try to help with everything I can. And if you would like, I would appreciate you subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.